Does your home need a happiness boost? Hi, my name's Christine L. Conroy. Welcome to Happy Stuff and Fluff, a channel for women over 50 who are getting happy and growing younger. And this video is the first in a series I want to do about designing your home for happiness, and I'm really excited about this. You know, your home should be a comforting, supporting and safe haven for you. Heaven knows I've needed that in the last, forever actually. And so you need to feel after time spent in your home that you are restored and ready and able to go out back into the world and be able to meet whatever life has to throw at you, whether that's good or bad. And that's what your home should do for you. Now, we know through sciences such as neuroscience, behavioural science, and one that I am particularly interested in is environmental psychology, that we know that our environment has an enormous impact on our physical and our mental well-being. Now, part of that whole field is interior psychology, interior design psychology. And of course, my interest lies in how we can create our spaces, our environments, to help us to increase our happiness, well-being, and therefore our resilience, as I said to you at the beginning there. So I want to talk today, or start us off today, by talking about two very simple but well-researched and evidenced things that we can do to increase our happiness in our home space. So I'm talking about colour and scent, and I'm going to start with colour. Now, of course, it might be an easy thing to do to change the colour in your home, but it certainly isn't a simple subject. Obviously, colour is subjective. Now, before I say these general things I'm going to say, we obviously have to understand that colour is subjective, or whether you like a colour or not is a very personal thing. That's the first thing. There are also cultural differences in terms of what we like and what we don't like. There's colour symbolism that might say something different. A colour might say something different to you than it says to someone else. So there are all of those things to consider. But what I want you to do, now you can either choose one room to do this, or when you have a minute, just walk into each room in your home, and the first question to ask is, what do I do in here? Because this is the other thing, everybody does different things in each particular room, or you want different things from each particular room. So, for example, it might be your bedroom, and we want to sleep in our bedroom. I'll come back to that later. So you want a calming environment in your bedroom. Okay, these are generalised, I know, but they have to be because of the things I've just said. So let's just have a look at some things we know about colour in general. So if you go into each room in your house and feel the atmosphere in there, how does it make you feel? And does it make you feel what you want to feel in there? And if it doesn't, it might not be you. It might just be that you need to change the colour. You need to paint one wall maybe a different colour, or change the colour of the room completely. Now, as I said, it's easy because all that takes is a lick of paint, but you will have to have a look at some of these things, some of these generalisations, before you choose which particular colour you're going to try. So in general then, cool colours are calming. So if you want a calming colour in your bedroom, for example, you might choose a paler colour, a pale green. Green, we know, is a calming colour. But of course, where it comes down to personal choices, you may prefer a deeper green, a paler green, a lighter green, a yellow green, a blue green. That's where your choice comes into it. But in general, if cool colours are calming, then you can choose that colour spectrum in order to choose a colour for your bedroom. On the opposite side of that then, warm colours are energy giving. So do you have a room in your home where you like to entertain, for example, or where you might want to use warm colours? So in a dining room, we know that warm colours increase our appetite. That's why when you go into lots of restaurants, the colours they use in there are warmer colours. We'll talk about that in a second. This is an interesting one. Layering shades of the same colour is very relaxing. So again, if you use your sitting room to relax in, then you may want to use a pale colour of your choice, but layer it in different shades. This happens apparently as long as you don't use white. Apparently white has a different effect if you layer white on white. That's a little bit more of a complicated thing to do. But these are ideas that will give you have been proven to give you a particular effect or feeling. Now also remember this, that how a colour is experienced by you is influenced by whatever colour is on each side of it. So if you put white in the middle and have red here, then the white will take on some of that red. And then if you have blue on this side, it will take on some reflection of the blue on that side. So that's why you have to be careful with that one. If you have, in general, this is warmer colours will enclose a space and make them feel a little bit more intimate. And we know that, so in general, lighter colours then will open up a space. So if you have, this is why we always have white ceilings or lighter ceilings, because that light colour makes the ceiling seem higher. If you have a room with a high ceiling, you want to bring it down a little bit, you would bring that shade, you would paint your ceiling a little bit darker. Now I completely flouted all of these rules in my last home, and you can do that. These are just general things to consider, and once you know these rules, then you can play around with it to suit yourself. Warm colours make us feel hungry, as I've just said, which is great for your dining room. If you want to lose weight, I suggest you eat off cool coloured plates. But in general, if you want the people who sit at your table to have a healthy appetite, then you need to decorate your dining room or the area where you eat in a warmer colour. Excuse me. In general, cool colours make us feel cooler. So if you have a room that is particularly warm, warm to the feel, then you might want to tone that down a little bit by using a cooler colour, and vice versa. These things tend to work in opposition. So there are all of these things to consider. Now, how you put this into practice, as I said to you, is to go into each room and decide what you want from that room, how you use that room, and what's the atmosphere. That's the key word here, I think. The key word is atmosphere. What atmosphere do you want to create in that room? Start by colour. Of course, lots of other things will be thrown into this mix. For example, the lighting you use and the textures you use and so on. But just to, we're talking here just to give something a little bit of a boost. We're not talking about it completely redecorating your whole house. We're talking about how to give your space a little bit of a boost, and changing the colour in just one room to give you the atmosphere you're looking for could well be the answer you're looking for. And the other way you can give your space a boost is by the strategic use of perfume, or rather scent. Now here's some things we know about smell and scent. It's very powerful. You know yourself, you must have experienced it when you get just a whiff of a smell that takes you back to when you were a child. For me, as you'll know, because I mentioned it actually in my book, Stitch Your Own Silver Linings, my father used to work in transport and on the roads, and then he would call off on his way home to the local bar to have a drink before he came home, and consequently when he came home, he smelt of a combination of diesel and alcohol. That sounds dreadful, and yet now 50 odd years later, when I get that smell of diesel, I remember my father straight away. Now that can either be pleasant or unpleasant, but you know what I mean. It has a very strong effect on us, so we know that scents are very powerful. We know that pleasant smells, what we consider to be a smesant plel, or even a pleasant smell, puts us in a good mood. Now, this is great for us, obviously, because we know about the upward spiral of positive emotions. So a pleasant smell makes you feel good, gives you those positive emotions, then you can become more creative in everything you do, and it gives you all of the things that we know positive emotions do. I'll be talking again soon about positive emotions, but obviously anything that we can do that are going to increase our positive emotions, then this is what we can do, and a pleasant smell that we enjoy is one of those. Now then, you might think, yes, well, I've used some essential oils or potpourri or whatever in the home, and after a few hours I can't smell it anymore. It doesn't matter, because we know that you are still influenced and affected by the smell, even though consciously you may not actually smell it anymore. So don't think that just because you can't smell something, you need to get rid of it and change it. You don't. You're still being affected by that smell that is there, but you just can't consciously smell it. So that's great. We also know that specific scents have powerful specific effects. So, for example, smelling orange, now these are proven things, guys. Smelling orange reduces anxiety. Now bear in mind, if you don't like the smell of orange, then it isn't going to work for you, that is it. So this is where this personal thing comes into it again. So remember that too. Frankincense, so if you don't like the smell of orange, frankincense reduces anxiety, or helps to reduce anxiety and depression. Peppermint makes you more alert. And rosemary, which has been the study of a lot of subjects, the subject of a lot of study recently, smelling rosemary helps with memory. Now there are lots of examples like that. So just as we had with colour, we have with scents. Many scents are energising and many scents are calming. Now I know a little bit about aromatherapy from the days when, many years ago, when I was using essential oils. But I do have a friend who is an expert in this field, and I want to introduce her to you. She is Marcy, and she has a YouTube channel too, Marcy Vandenburg. I'll leave a link to her website, YouTube channel below. She's an expert on essential oils and what to do with them, because obviously it's all right me saying, oh yes, well, peppermint makes you more alert, but how much peppermint, and in oil or diffused, or there's a lot more to this than me just telling you those things. Marcy can help you to decipher what to use, how to use it, how to diffuse it, and she's far more knowledgeable about using oils to help with well-being, with beauty, with all kinds of things. She covers everything on her YouTube channel. And as we have been talking about sleep, and obviously I mentioned sleep and calming colours, let's start with the bedroom first, and let's skip over to Marcy's channel and learn about what you can do in the bedroom in terms of scents to help to give you a good night's sleep. Okay, now I've given you a lot of information there, I know, and it's a long video, but I'm excited about this subject and I wanted to give you things that you could do straight away. Paint and colour is a real effective and easy way to give a room or your whole house a bit of a happiness boost. Scent is also particularly powerful. So get to it, guys. Tell me what you've used before. Tell me what you do now. Tell me if you've had any aha moments while I've been talking and that you're now going to rush out and do your spring cleaning first and then start painting your house, or just introduce a perfectly effective smell for a particular room in your house. It's a great subject. Let's talk about it, and I'll do some more on it. And until then, remember that on Happy Stuff and Fluff, we are getting happy and growing younger. See you next time. Bye-bye.